This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, you're used to rain all the time over there in Orlando. It is a much less frequent occurrence here, yet wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was...
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He'll drop to throw. Now this is caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Mike 51. Ready?
That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
2nd and 13. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 19. On 1st down, Lowry looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better, because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
On 2nd down now, Lowry. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 3 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Touchdown, Seattle. The kicker on for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. And he fires one incomplete. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off play action. Love. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll set up to throw. He'll hit Jackson, complete.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed, and more importantly, perhaps, that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 59 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. On 1st and 10. Love. And this one's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 31. And they give this time to the tailback. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
This has neither the distance nor the accuracy. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And Olsen over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. That's caught by Jackson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now they'll run on the draw. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So on 4th down, Doug Marrone going to send out his field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Ready, ready. Ready, go.
They'll run on 1st down. Dive. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. To throw on 2nd down. Love. It's brought in by Mariani. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now they'll run on the draw.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Lowry, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On 1st down, Whitfield. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. He'll look to throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5. And this is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Dye's got it, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustmts.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now a give, right side, Lowry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a give, right side, Lowry. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They'll drop the throw.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. There, the defense won the battle. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the outside.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. 31-7, the final score. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it, and the running game is starting to pay off.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. On second down now. Dive. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 44. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Love.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. On fourth down, Love. Got his target, Samuel. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw. Love. It's complete to Mariani. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. On second down. Dive. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Looking to throw. Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards, first down Niners. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's first and 10 from the 12. They run the counter. Dive. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. On play action, they'll throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
They'll run on 1st down. Lowry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now. Whitfield, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Got to get to the 26 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
Yeah, he's right there on the doorstep now. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Love. And he rifles one incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Love. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Oh, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position, a couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter, and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they were backed up against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because we are grading them on their performance in this game. A lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way, just reached up and pulled it in, had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here we go. 70, Indy. SOS.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lowry. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 25. On 3rd down, Whitfield. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On the set.
Mike 51. All right, T, let's take it. All right, T. Let's go.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He'll find Metcalf. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Go set. 60 outlaw.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
Ready.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
With the score, Seahawks 24, 49ers 7.
So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Love. And Dye brings it in. Call it a 3-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun. Love. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he whips that one incomplete there. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Love. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Love. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Back to throw. Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like, you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. On first down, Whitfield. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. Second down and inches. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 40. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Break.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Just like that. Just like that.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 17-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
70, Indy.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here.
Ready?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Key to tight end.
Back to throw here. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, Love finds an open man, Mariani. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on 1st down, Love. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw, Love. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him, complete. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. On 1st down, Love. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a desperation throw deep down. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on 1st down. Lowry. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Lowry. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So the victory here for Seattle, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Seahawks, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, this was basically just an exhibition.